Morning guys. Oh, what a night. What an absolute blooming night. So as much as I love this wild camping, and I really do, I absolutely love it, listening to the ocean, listening to nature, I can't get comfy. I find it really hard getting comfy, and I think that's just because I've gone, back to being in a bed and getting used to going from a bed back into the tent again. So it's just like, finding a comfy spot. That feeling at middle at night when you get into bed, you get comfy, and then you need the toilet. So you have to get up, go to the toilet, get back in bed, and then you can never get comfy again and get back to sleep. It's kind of like that, and I just got to get back into the swing of things again, basically. Get used to get wild camping again, and as the time goes on, I'm sure I'll get used to it again, and then like the last time when I go back home, I won't want to be back in my bed. Do you know what I mean? It's just from one extreme to other, as I keep saying. It was a uncomfy night. I did sleep, but I kept waking up and tossing and turning and whatnot. But dry night, and the sun is, as you can see, beaming through the tent, so it feels like a warm morning. I'm going to pack up now, pack my stuff up and make a move down the coast. So let's see where we end up today. Yep, absolutely stunning morning. Bit casted over, a bit misty, but it's not cold at all. It is absolutely beautiful. Sun coming up there. It's gorgeous. Look at that. Look at them waves and big rocks. How magnificent is this? How magnificent is waking up to scenery like this? How often do you get this? It is beautiful. So yeah, I'm going to be heading that way now. It's about an hour or so into the next town along, and of course, as always, I'm going to head for spoons. So I made my way down to Seaham, if that's how it's pronounced, Seaham. A pretty easy word, so it sounds like Seaham. I'm busting for the loo, so Spoons is about 10 minutes away. Making my way into the town centre here. I'm going to go into Spoons because I'm dying for the toilet and I'm dying for my morning coffee. Hi, how you doing? Okay guys, so I think I am now getting in to the difficult part of the trail. I've just made my way down this coast here out of Seaham. And obviously I'm heading along here now into the National Trust Trail, which is, by the looks of it, as you can tell, fields after fields after fields. So you know what I mean, guys? You get these bits where they're like touristy trails and you see people and there's stuff happening, yeah? But when you keep walking and you walk away from the trails and keep heading away, this is where you end up in complete solitude and by yourself and then deserted in the middle of nowhere. And this is where the walk becomes very tedious because, as you know, it starts going like that and in and out and up and down, and yeah, but still going to enjoy myself, and as long as it's not raining, still going to have a pretty good time. And as you know, guys, after my last trip, these are my key points. and every time I see one of these I take a picture so I can see where I've been along the way and how far I've come. And as you know from my last uploads and my last adventure, I take a picture of them, and when I get home I print them off and I put them into a scrapbook, which it makes absolutely awesome memories to look back on. So if, say, social media did happen to disappear, which I don't think it will, not only have I got my videos for memories, I've got all my pictures in some creative scrapbooks, which I absolutely love. My memories of my adventures are priceless to me. You know what I mean? Because this is the thing, we live in a world where people are obsessed with buying possessions, materialistic possessions. And when you get older, you don't take that stuff with you. So people literally spend money after money after money on overpriced tat, jewellery, watches, branded clothes. And what happens to it? What happens to it? It all ends up in landfill, or like I say, some things you might pass down. You know what I mean? Some things you might pass down, but at the end of the day, you can't take it with you. Whereas your memories and your experiences, you can. So yeah, I like to mark my key bits along the way and take plenty of videos, as you know, and plenty of pictures. See guys, right, this is the thing, right, with these walks. This is manageable, even though it sort of looks a long way. You know, I'm going to make my way all the way down there. This is manageable. It's a nice flat path, but as you know, the further along the coast I walk, the path starts becoming, shall we say, very deteriorated, to the point where the path becomes non-existent. And again, you're squeezing your way down little tight paths and steps and jagged rocks. That's when it becomes hard. So right now, this is manageable. This is absolutely manageable. And if it stayed like this the whole way along, it'd be fine. You know, even this becomes tiring after a while, but this is okay. It's when it starts getting jagged and tedious, that's when the walk becomes hard work. Oh my god, I'm exhausted. And you know what, this is the thing, yeah, so it's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon, right? So obviously I've been walking the last couple of hours or so, and obviously, as you can see, I'm following these, yeah, following these. Now sometimes I miss these, and sometimes there's a few different directions to take. Now when I get to a bit and I pass somebody, it's nice to have a stop and have a chat, and if they're local they can advise me on which way to go. So she might turn around, people might turn around and say, well, you know what, it doesn't matter which way you go, they still end up leading to the same direction, which is good to know, because sometimes I can be following these and then end up walking down a trail that takes me out into the middle of nowhere. Now I don't mind walking in the middle of nowhere for a good hour or so, 2 hours maybe, obviously, because sometimes I'm sticking as close to the shoreline as I possibly can, because you can't go wrong that way. But when you start having to be diverted inland, following these and following your way through, you know, as you can see, open fields, you just end up becoming a bit secluded and, you know, feeling like you're in the middle of nowhere, and you can end up God knows where. And so yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. So it's kind of like, which way do I go? Do I take this path? Do I take that path? So it's always nice seeing people and then obviously getting their advice. And then the other hard thing about it is, the other difficult thing about it is when I'm walking somewhere and then I see all these little spots, like wherever I am right now, as you can see, plenty of places to set up my tent. You know what I mean? This would be an ideal spot to just put up my tent and stay here. But I've got like 5 hours of daylight left. Do you know what I mean? I've got like 5 hours of daylight left, so of course I'm going to keep walking. Now, you know, I always seem to manage to find somewhere. In the end, I do always find somewhere. Some locations are better than others, as you've known from previous videos. But, you know, I could be walking and there might not be a place to set up my tent for ages. And I have to keep walking until I find somewhere. So sometimes, especially if it's obviously getting late on in the day and I'm exhausted, sometimes you take your chances while you can. So like I say, right now, if it was later on in the day and I was so tired that I couldn't keep walking, I'd stay here. I'd literally stay here. But right now, I know it's way too early. And like I say, I know, like I say, I've got a good few hours left in me, at least a good few hours left in me, that I'm going to find another place like this somewhere else further along. Do you know what I mean? But it is that scary bit where sometimes when the sun starts setting, sun starts going down, and you're walking and you're walking and you're just not finding anywhere to set up your tent, that can become quite kind of scary. But yeah, it does get hard, especially obviously carrying all this stuff. It gets tedious, but again, I still enjoy it. I still enjoy it because it's fresh air, nature, meeting people along the way, locals, having a nice chat. So yeah, I still wouldn't complain, just tired. So I know I always say that I like being by the coast, but check where I am right now. This is absolutely awesome. You know, this is, like I say again, I don't mind this so much. It's a little bit, again, rugged where you're going up and down and whatever. And what would make this even better is, the other thing I enjoy is waterfalls. If there was like a waterfall here, that would make it 10 times better. But look at this. Absolutely incredible. You know, the architecture on bridges like that, the train, it's a train line that goes over there. Keep seeing the train pass me, and by the time I get my phone out to record it, it's bloody gone. So if I catch it, I'll record it. But yeah, this is incredible. I do like, you know, obviously once again, peace and quiet, innit? Peace and quiet, and listen, nature. The birds are happy, they're tweeting away. Again, next to being by the shore, by the shore and listening to the waves, this is the next best thing. Can you hear that? There's birds all the way around me just tweeting and chirping and happy-go-lucky, and sound of nature. And that sound of nature, absolutely beautiful. And look at this, look at this. It's awesome. I could, in fact, you know what I mean? Again, if it wasn't that early, I'd put my tent here. I'd literally just crash here. Again, if it wasn't that early, I literally would just stay here, because this is awesome. See, just listen to that. Listen to that. I know it's not much of a waterfall, but the trickling sound of a little stream. Trickling sound of a little stream. And look at this. Look. Absolutely peaceful and bliss. Gorgeous. You know, I could stay here for hours listening to this. Absolutely stay here all day, you know. Oh, got some people coming down behind me. I'm going to have to move out the way in a minute. I have to move out the way. People coming down there. Blocking the bridge. Blocking the bridge. But yeah, this is hard. This is hard, having to go up and down and then all the way back up here. Up and down. Very rugged. Very rugged. See, I could easily put my tent up here, couldn't I? Sleep here, and I bet loads do. I bet loads stay here. But guys, if you're going to do this, look at the state of this. Look at the state of this. If you're going to stay here, tidy up after yourself. I mean, for God's sake, this is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful in nature. And there's no excuse for this. Put a couple of bags, put your rubbish in a couple of bags and throw it in a bin. you know, because that spoils it. Absolutely, there's always some that have to spoil it. Oh, guys, honestly to God, this is another reason why I do this, because when you're doing walks like this, you don't see many people. All you see is locals, dog walkers, basically, people who live locally and who walk these trails every day. Now, in the last hour, I've met a few people. I've met an elderly couple in like the 70s, which puts things into perspective. Yeah, literally puts things, when you see people at that age doing hikes, what excuse have you got? What else? If they can do it when they're that old, you've got no excuse. Then I've just met someone my age with a dog who lives locally, and she was lovely. Then I've just stopped to, again, someone doing the walk that I've done this way, doing it back that way. Where I've come from today, she's heading to. And then I've just stopped and she's run out of water, so I've just given her some water. And then, so I'm chatting to her about, obviously, trips. And then she's just said to me, oh, this guy coming here, this guy coming up here now, he's going away for 18 months abroad. So obviously, do you know what I mean? Passed information, she's obviously just had a chat with him and passed that information on to me. So I've said goodbye to her, and as he's passed me, I've gone to him, I've heard you're going on an adventure. And then I've just had a good conversation with him. Again, an elderly bloke. Like I say again, he said his whole life he's done the coastal walks around Britain, and now he's going off to America, South America, to do walks there. And again, he looked like he was in his 70s. So I just, do you know what I mean? It's these positive people with the same ambitions. You know, what you're doing, I'm doing this, and I'm meeting people with the same ambitions, and they're happy, they're positive. You know, and each one of them says the same thing. When you go into the cities, everyone's just miserable. Everyone's just unhappy and miserable because everyone's just stuck in the same mentality and the same daily patterns, and stuck in their own little bubble where they can't be arsed with anyone else. When you get out here, it's completely different. It is honestly completely different, and it really does put things into whole new perspectives, and I enjoy it, because then, like I say, right now, as you can see, I go back to being on my own again, and I can be on my own again for a good couple of hours walking, and then I'll meet a couple of nice people doing the same thing along the way and have a good chat with them, and that's what it's all about. So I'm exhausted now. I'm exhausted. It's nearly 3 o'clock. It's nearly 3 o'clock, so I've been more, you know, obviously when I rested last it was 1 o'clock, and like I said, I've met a couple of people along the way in the last couple of hours, and one of the people I were speaking to, I said, do you know what, I haven't passed a bench for ages, is there going to be a place I can rest up along here? And so she said, so you're going to be walking and it's going to get to a bit where it's going to go like this, and then you'll come to a flat bit. Let me turn the camera around and show you where I am. So obviously, there's the shoreline along here. Walked all the way along here, all these cliff sides, and I've come to this section right here. So I've got to walk all the way down here and then all the way back up there. And the lady said when you get to some seashell looking statues, there's some benches and a flat bit along there to rest. And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, I'm resting here, I can't make it that far. I'm absolutely exhausted. And this is it, this is what I'm talking about, how it goes from being flat and easy to walk to like this, and it knackers me out, absolutely knackers me out. But this is the thing, like I say, we've not put in a time limit on it and not rushing. I've got all the time in the world, don't need to rush. Like I say, it's still 3 o'clock, so I can just chill here for a bit. I need to get my video uploaded. I've already done some editing, so I need to get my video from yesterday uploaded, so I'm going to try and give that a go and see how good the signal is out here, see if it'll upload, and then this will go up maybe tomorrow or in the next couple of days. So like I say again, while I'm walking along here, it's just a kind of, there's not really much to record. There isn't really much to record, so it's kind of as and when. Yeah, but by now, loving every minute of it. Absolutely loving every minute of it as usual. It's starting to get a bit nippy now. It's clouded over and it's starting to get a bit nippy, but I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. Guys, you're not going to believe this. You are literally not going to believe this. I'm gutted. Absolutely gutted. So, let me show you this. So, yeah, I've just made my way down here. Very steep hill, because as I've showed in my last clip, I need to make my way back up there. However, when I got to the bottom of there, look at this. Look at all of this. Yeah? Literally look at all of this. So I've just found myself and made it through there without getting wet, without, you know, I found myself, you know what I mean, because you can tell when people do this, when people have the same idea, you can see bits where they've walked over. So I've just walked along here, no issues whatsoever, stayed dried, you know, didn't end up going in there. So I've made it along here, walked over here, stepped over this, and gone and fell forward into the mud there. Made it in one piece, through all of that, and gone and tripped over the last little bit. And now I've got wet, filthy, muddy pants, and I'm not happy. Because I'm having to walk along here and all the way up there. And yeah, so yeah, why last little bit, home stretch, and I go and plummet face first. It's because I'm carrying these. If I wasn't carrying these, I'd be fine, but because I'm being weighed, my bag is fine. This is totally fine, but because I'm carrying these, I'm being pulled down. So when I'm having to do obstacles like that, carrying stuff makes it that much harder. But I need it. It's stuff that I need. Challenges. Told you it's not going to be a bed of roses the whole way along, but keep pushing forward. Oh, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I literally can't breathe, but you can literally see I just walked down that hill and I look at it at the bottom. You can see that, yeah, anyone would have made it across there in one piece without getting wet, you know, without getting wet and filthy. Honestly, you're a superstar, because that, honestly, this is why I don't like walking through muddy fields. This is why I try and stick as close as I can to the coast, because usually you don't come across stuff like that. You don't, you know, but obviously it's like a gathering, and it's like a ditch where water just builds up, especially after bad weather. But yeah, that needs sorting out. That needs a little bit of bridge put across there or whatnot. But oh my god, nearly to the top, nearly to the top. See, I'm in a bit of a predicament right now. As you can see, absolutely nothing or no one here for miles around. There's literally, I'm walking down this way and look at it. Look at that. There's nobody here, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing for miles ahead. So this, ideal place to put my tent, ideal place to stop, but it's still way too early. So it's that I'm absolutely exhausted, and now I'm absolutely filthy as well. Luckily, this is why I bring spare clothes. I've got change of clothes, you know what I mean? But do I stay here now? Because, and this is it, crash here for the night, because look at it, it's absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But it's too early. Still got another 2-3 hours left in me, so I could just chill here for a bit, get some energy back, give myself a little bit of a wipe down, and carry on. What would you do? Literally, what would you do in this situation? Because this spot is beautiful, but it's just too early. I'm just going to be sat here, I'll be give me half an hour or so and I'll be ready and moving to go again, but God knows what I'm going to come across further down. I really don't know anymore. So weird. I've said this before and I'll say it again. You can go for hours. You can go for hours and be walking miles and not see a single soul. Not see anybody. You can see how dead it is up ahead. That over there looks like a bit of a town, houses. And I've just got to the top of this hill and seen loads of people, dog walkers. So obviously this is they come down here from their town and they do a loop. Half an hour tops, where they walk the dogs, and then they go home again. They do the usual route, the dog walking route, and then they go home again. But nobody carries on walking, because you keep walking, you pass that loop and you don't see anybody again. And this is what I'm saying, you can go for hours, absolutely bloody hours, not seeing anybody, and then all of a sudden people are there, people pop up. So I'm getting pretty tired now. I am getting absolutely pretty tired now, but I've still got another couple of hours left in me. I would say I've still got another few hours left in me that I'm going to keep walking, and then I'm going to set up my tent somewhere along here. Hopefully, because I didn't sleep too well last night, hopefully I'll sleep better tonight, because obviously apart from sitting in spoons for a few hours, I've been walking non-stop again all day, so I'm tired and it's getting casted over again. So another hour or so of daylight, and then I'm going to pitch up my tent and hopefully sleep well tonight.